Okay, I think we can start. Thank you all for being so on time. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to this workshop on differentiable optimization everywhere. So I'm just going to do a very quick introduction, and then we'll dive right into the invited talks. So, all right. So, okay, quickly, motivation of this workshop, like just a bit of a higher level picture. So we know that gradients are basically the main ingredient to make like neural network training work and the machine learning resolution and so on. And then also gradient-based optimization is everywhere in robotics. And I think the idea of this workshop and of the field in general is to highlight a little bit how we can connect these different paradigms, like machine learning with model-based approaches, and really figure out how to plug these both like very powerful paradigms that are growing a lot at the moment. Okay, so we have kind of thought about three main themes for this workshop. So the first theme being kind of differentiable optimization in general, and their important topic is differentiating through contacts, for instance, non-smooth problems, and how to do that also in an efficient way and accurate way. Then we have kind of improving simulations from data. So once you have a nice differentiable simulation, how to improve it from real-world data to close the real to sim gap, or also how to generate simulations from real-world data. And finally, we have seen, since we're in a robotics conference, we have seen a lot of nice applications of these tools in policy learning in particular. And there's, I think, an ongoing discussion about zero order versus first order methods, and what should we do? Should we use gradients? Do we not need gradients? So the idea here is also really to discuss this and hear different opinions, and try to figure out what's the best way to do policy learning. And just to say, this is, I think, a growing field. We have seen a lot of progress in recent years, many nice tools that are being developed, and this is completely non-exhaustive, of course, but we have a lot of nice, like robotics-oriented software, and then we also have more, I would say, general-purpose software, and in general, these are all being like heavily developed and used, and so we can see that there is a need for these kind of tools, and so today is about also giving a platform for these tools, and it's kind of learning about when to use what and so on.
Cool. So today we have a few purposes that we'd like to be able to foster here. So the first is just to have some cross-pollination of ideas. As you'll be able to tell from all of the posters and the submissions here, there's a very wide variety of what people are doing in differentiable simulation and how they're using it. So the common denominator is that we used gradients. And so, definitely talk with other people, learn what others are doing, because large variety and we can all learn from each other. And then specifically focusing on the tools that are going to be useful for roboticists. And so we have some people here who are working on actually creating these tools, as well as people who are using these tools. So full stack there. And then we can learn from each other's expertise. So we have like people who are early in their careers and late in their careers, across the people who are doing spotlight talks and posters, as well as the invited talks as well. And then lastly, of course, have fun. We have a great lineup of speakers today. So, and we've split them into the 3 topics that Frederique introduced earlier. So for people who are working on differentiable simulation tools, we have Felix Peterson and Eric Hayden who will be giving talks. For improving simulation from data, we have Yunzu Lee and Kelsey Allen. And then we have 4 people giving talks in actually applying these tools for policy learning and control. So we have Haiwan Park, Yuval Tasa, Imo Todorov, and Lin Xiao. And these 3 topics won't be linear in our schedule just to accommodate people's time constraints. So timing-wise, we'll start with Eric and Felix. We will then do 3 lightning talks of submitted papers. They'll each get 5 minutes to present there. We'll have a coffee break that will be combined with the morning poster session, followed by Yunzu Lee's presentation, and then a panel discussion that will feature the 3 speakers from the morning session. Then lunch is a wide window. It's 12 to 1:45, but that's because there's a industry panel in the middle of the day as well. I think the industry panel, I think it starts at 1 p.m. But there should be signage and like people shepherding everyone to that. So make sure to eat your lunch right at 12 so you can go to the industry panel. The poster switch, make sure that happens during this lunch break as well. So if you have a poster set up in the morning, make sure to take it down sometime during lunch by 1 p.m. so that people who have posters in the afternoon session can set theirs up. Then in the afternoon, we have 5 more talks. So we have 3 in a row, followed by a coffee break and poster session, and then 2 more. Then we'll have a second panel discussion with most of the speakers from the afternoon. Then we'll very quickly have some closing remarks. That will be brief. And then for any of the attendees who are interested, we have a social event that's sponsored by NVIDIA, which will be happening, I think that's maybe on the next slide or 2.
A few, yeah.
Okay, it's in a few, yeah. More to come, I guess. Okay, cool. So we've learned that the poster boards are not numbered. So keep note of these where exactly we're going to be located. So this is on the 1st floor. We are numbers 117 through 128. Feel free to take a photo of this if you will be setting up a poster today.
And they might be putting the numbers up, but to be safe, maybe yeah, take a picture.
Yeah.
And I will also just
yeah, and here are all of the contributions. I'm sure everyone can read everything on this slide. Yeah, if anyone's confused about whether they're doing the poster in the morning or the afternoon session, check your email. And if you're still unclear, feel free to let us know. Yep. Oh yeah, so logistically, for invited speakers and everyone giving lightning talks, come see any of us, the organizers, before that particular session, just so we can make sure you're set up and good to go. And oh yeah, if you are doing the morning poster session, please set up your poster as soon as you can. And then remember that the exchange is happening over lunch. And then Zoom participants, we will keep people muted so that we can prioritize questions in person, but we will also be monitoring the chat where you can put your Q&A. This is our organizing team. We're a collaboration between INRIA in France and University of Pennsylvania in the US. And yeah, we're happy to be hosting everyone here. Promise details about the social event. So this will start at 6:30, go until whenever. You can take the U6 to the Gisellestrasse train station and meet us at this Bavarian restaurant, Wintergarten.
Unfortunately, we wanted to give you a Munich experience, which in summer would look like this. Tonight it's going to be dark, but we have a heated tent area, so it's almost like a beer garden, but but winter version. All right.
Oh, yeah, and thanks to our sponsor
Yeah,
NVIDIA
thank
as
you
well.
very much.
And yeah, we can move into our first talk, which is Eric's.
This